Hey team, I wanted to create a quick screencast for you to show you how you can set up personalized pathways for Think Through Math. This will be part of our assignment for the 25th of this month after we've decided which scholars that we think would benefit from SGI for the entire year. We'll make sure that we are also thinking about the content that we want them to start with. So this is how you do that. Obviously, we'll log in. Oh, really? It's going to take a while. All right. So it remembered me. Yay. This is what I get to see, which shows me the entire school. So little sidebar for our priority of interventions next year. Two of our goals actually would reside right here. Precursor lessons we would want to see at an 85%. Target lessons at a 70% or higher. Because the rollout of this was not as strong as it will be next year, those numbers I believe are very attainable. But besides that, we're going to go in here and actually start a new pathway. So to do that, we go into Content and we go into Manage Pathways. Now here's where they have all those different pathways, and I assigned all of your scholars different pathways. They were all pretty much looked like this: Common Core grade 5, 6, 7, or 8. When I clicked on this, this gave every single thing that's available to them that's aligned to the Common Core, and built out like a pretty huge playlist for kids, and something that it was kind of hard for them to like see how they were progressing. So we want to narrow the scope, especially with the beginning of next year. So to do that, we're going to create a pathway based in what our first 2 units are. Your first 2 units should be attached to the email that I sent out earlier, and there might be mild changes. Jenna, yours has the volume unit you're teaching right now actually comes first. But right now I'm going to pretend like I'm Wooly, and I'm going to be teaching integers at the beginning of the year and model how I would go through and think about this. So if I'm going to be teaching integers, I know that I have to be worried about rational number operations, basic number sense, that kind of fun stuff. So I'm going to do that. And to do that, I start by creating a pathway. So I can name this as 7th grade. You can see that I've already tried doing this once so that I could figure out if I was doing it right. We're going to say that this is the test version. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this as 6th grade, not 7th grade. Reason being is that the 7th grade material that they provide are things that they're going to be learning this year but haven't necessarily learned yet. So I'm going to go back to 6th grade and make sure they're really proficient in the 6th grade material that's going to align to what I'm about to teach in those first units. So this is just building out the skeletal version. So pathway options, use a placement test. Yep, I want to do that. That'll help let scholars opt out of certain lessons. It might build out a couple extra lessons for them. Use remediation, that's definitely what we want to do. That means that if a scholar does not pass a lesson, then the program will actually think of what is the lesson that should come right before this so that they could be successful. Something very important to tell kids is like whenever they do not pass a lesson, they actually have more lessons assigned to them. So that might be a little bit of a motivation if we're talking about who is finishing a pathway the fastest or with the highest like percentage. I don't know. Regardless. Skip problem solving process. I would not click this. I actually like the problem solving process a lot. We saw in the SBAC that there were a lot of things that align to what they were doing with the problem solving process that Think Through Math has. And I really just like the function of it. So I would keep that. Allow test out. Yep, that's fine. The kid does the pre-quiz, tests out of it, sweet. Require pre-quiz? Absolutely. We couldn't do this for the ones that they've already assigned and Think Through Math has already created. But if I'm creating my own, I can require the pre-quiz, which was something that we saw a lot of our kids were just opting out of, and we had to spend a lot of time specifically telling them to take the pre-quiz. Now it's not an option. Save. Pathway was created, but we still need to find the content. So we go in here, and now it's going to give me all the 6th grade material, the 5th grade too if I want. But right now I'm going to go to 6th grade. So I know that I need a bunch of different things that have to do with number sense, rational number operations, Absolute value is making sense, so I'm going to drag and drop that over here. Add subtract fractions, absolutely. Add subtract mixed numbers with like denominators, yep. I don't need anything about area or circumference. Classify rational numbers, maybe. I'm just going to put as many things as I think might be good for kids over there. Compare rational numbers, sure. Oh, it didn't go over there. This thing's a little finicky. Sometimes it just doesn't want to work. Yeah, I think it's over there. Stop it. Okay, so this is where I get frustrated, and I'm okay now. Concepts, fractions, decimal, percents. Yep, that might be good. We keep going down. Integer concepts, I'm not sure what that is, but maybe. We go through percent, nope. Ratio, not yet. Probability, nope. Word problems with fractions, mixed numbers, yep, absolutely. It's going to do that little thing again that frustrates me so bad. There we go. So now I have a bunch of things right here. I can click on 5th grade material as well if I want to, and I can go back a couple. So it's got add fractions, add subtract decimals. Maybe that's something that I really need, you know? Then we're going to have to add subtract decimals that are negative later on, so I can do that. It just starts you at the grade level of 6th, and then it will help them just get to that grade level through whatever it's going to assign them. But down here, I can actually search for a bunch of different lessons based on just what the grade level is. So 5th grade, it's a standard just to be able to add and subtract decimals. It's something I want them to review. So I'm going to go to the 5th grade content. I'm going to find add, subtract decimals. Now, I got a whole bunch of things here for kids, and I want to make sure that I'm not overdoing it for them. So I'm going to start to put these in the order I think I want them to appear. And kind of trim the fat a little bit, get rid of some of the things that maybe I won't need. So absolute value, I think that's going to be super important, especially with the concept of negative numbers, opposites being the same distance from 0. So I'm going to keep that. I'm actually going to keep it first. I can move the order. If I keep it first, I think that's something easy enough that kids will have some success right away. So I'll keep it there. Add subtract decimals, I think that they should be able to do that pretty simply off the bat. So I'm going to put that here. Add subtract fractions with like denominators. Let's just start simple. I'm actually going to bring this over here. I want to keep that right there. Add subtract mixed numbers with like denominators. I don't worry about that one so much right now. I could keep it, but I'd rather just go to add subtract fractions, period. So this is like denominators, scaffolding up to, hey, now here's add subtract fractions without like denominators. If you were just to keep this and you were to get rid of the add subtract fractions with like denominators, if a kid got add subtract fractions wrong, it would automatically build this in for them, and that would be the next scaffold. Sometimes you might just want there to be like that level of specificity. Some scholars like maybe really behind, and you think that they just need that scaffold. Perfectly fine. If they test out of it, good, they can go on. Compare rational numbers. Yep, maybe they need that. I think I'll keep that there. Equivalence, no, I'm not going to use that. I'm not sure what integer concepts is. Classify rational numbers, that might be something that I want. Word problems, I'll probably keep that in there. I'm just going to get rid of it for right now. Classify rational numbers, yeah, I'll do that. Here's the problem. I don't know what integer concepts is. It might be beneficial, I'm just not sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for it. Integer concepts, I just have to remember that. I'm going to save this. I can always come back and edit it. But what I'm going to do, thank you, John, for showing me how to do this, is I'm going down to preview an activity. Integer concepts, I mean, it could be under any of these things. So instead of searching through all this, what I would do is I would come here and I would download the Think Through Math content. This is every single thing that they have. And if I just do a little quick Control F up in the top right here, I can type in integer concepts. And I see that it is right here. It's under the number system. The lesson is integer concepts. So I come back. I go the number system. Uh-oh, where'd it go? Ah, it's at the bottom. I go to the number system, and lo and behold, integer concepts is right there. The activity, I'm probably going to go down to the post-quiz because that's going to give me an indication of what kids will have learned by the end of it. And I'm going to take the post-quiz and see if this is worth my kids' time. Shanika is thinking of a rational number, but tells you its opposite. What is true about the number she is thinking of? Pretty good question. Located 0, nope. Right, nope. Could be positive 1, twice, nope. Same distance. So it's the concept of absolute value in terms of integers. So far, this seems like a pretty good thing for kids to have. Point D is a negative number, which is the opposite. Again, it's the opposite, so it would be A. The depth. A scuba diver plans to dive negative 30 meters. What statement does this mean? So it's really talking about a lot of just making sense of negative numbers. Seems like this is a pretty good lesson for kids to have. I'm going to keep this one. And come out, stop impersonating. If I want to go back in, I could go to Manage Pathways. If I want to edit the one I just created, I go down to our customer created. Again, you can see that I've been playing around with this a little bit already. I would come over here and I would hit edit. And I'm looking at this. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7 things here. I want to stick with 6. I want something that's going to be attainable within the course of about a unit or 2. So I want to stick to 6. Let's get rid of classifying integers or rational numbers. So now I have a playlist right here. Again, if they get through this super fast, no problem. We can create another one for them very simply. Or we can think about, well, we just got done with the integers unit. I can go into the pre-created ones that Think Through Math gives me, and I can find one that is specific to kids in terms of like the number system. So this takes the remediation off. I could look for remediation on if I want to. That's a little bit more advanced. We don't need to worry about that right now. Your assignment really is just to create a pathway for your scholars that aligns to, I don't know what I've just done here, don't pay attention to what I just did, that aligns to what your kids are going to be learning in the first 2 units. Get 6 solid lessons that you think are going to set kids up for success. Put them in the order in which you want kids to see them, starting with something that you think kids will be successful with right away to just build some momentum and investment up front. It will also help with like the rollout of what our expectations are for scholars' written work given a digital medium. That's another conversation for another time. If you have any questions about how to set that up, let me know. As soon as you do, if you want to take a quick little screenshot of it and shoot it to me, that will be the deliverable. So you go under Manage Pathways, Customer Created. You would go to the pathway that you picked or that you created. Okay, so that's not what you do. You go to Manage Pathways, you go to Customer Created, and you go to Edit. There we go. Comes down here and it's going to show me my pathway. If you hit the Windows button and S, you can screenshot. You let go. My desktop is a mess. I understand this. I'm sure many people know how to screenshot, which means you probably already closed this by now. If you don't, then you start listening to me talk. You come in here, you send me an email, Control V to paste. That's it. Any questions? Let me know.